Hello everybody and welcome back to the Trackmania Grand League Weekly Show, episode 4. We're already on the 4th episode of this show for this run of the season, and we're already at the halfway mark. And of course, alongside me as always is none other than SinasAppel. How are you doing, Sinas?
Good evening, everyone. We're back. Indeed, we are already on week 4, and that is about halfway, I think, of the regular season. Yeah, we have a great start to the season so far. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that, right?
Yeah, indeed. We're going to be talking more specifically about the happenings of last weekend, of course, with the 4th step of Trackmania Grand League and Trackmania Grand League Challenger. We'll get to discuss, well, about the top flight first, about the events of the previous step. We'll talk about the map pack, the introduction, of course, of Launchpad, the very first 6-sniper that we've seen also on poolside. And of course, we'll have a couple of players to actually interview and hear the thoughts from. One of them is Gwen, your winner from Step 4 last week. He's back up to 6th in the standings. And we'll also get to hear from your new, quote, championship leader, Aurel, who came back up at the top of the standings here, thanks to his performance. Then afterwards, of course, we'll do a bit of a preview of Step 5 with the brand new map that has been released as well, called Bolt Holes by Rocket, a brand new name in the mapping for TMGL, which is cool to see. Then we'll move on to the challengers with an interview of your current championship leader in the challenger, mine from Exalted Toro. Quick recap of step number 4, as well as previewing step number 5 and also revealing my colleague for step number 5, and as well quick overview of the top 8 of Trackmania Grand League Open before, while talking you through what's going to happen this weekend. Sounds like a plan, right?
It does, yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Well, without further ado, let's get started with TMGL. And before we actually, both of us start talking about what happened last weekend, I think it's better to actually have a visual representation of some of the stuff that has happened and reminisce some of the best moments of the steps. So here are your top 10 highlights. Highlights? Like highlights? Yeah, no. Top 10 highlights.
Highlights
there
for your
go.
eyes.
Yeah. Non-native English speaker. There you go. But yeah, top 10 highlights of step 4. Here they are.
Brenn eventuell Chance Fehler, aber egal, nicht pushen, einfach einen zweiten mitnehmen.
Granadi hat nicht den ersten, glaube ich, pusht.
Brent hat aber... Oh!
Schau's dir an!
Jetzt einmal noch! Ja, geil, Mann!
What is Kappa gonna do? Is he gonna go towards the line or is he gonna be flunking it? Worker has flunked it. Where is Kappa gonna go? Oh, Worker trying to resurgence at the last second, but it's not working out.
Regardez, déjà première strat différente ici, il monte haut. Pour ensuite redescendre avec une gear en plus, et là il arrive full speed.
Ok,
et
donc
ensuite
c'est ce que faisait
voilà.
Wazil, ok.
Et ensuite là il chope une gear en plus pour le glide, et là, salut à tous les amis, on s'en va.
We are looking to see who's gonna do the identity the best. We're looking at less than 0.1 between the top 3 players. Binks is on the first place, Scrabby right behind him. We have Grady making a mistake, and Scrabby actually going for the cut, and Scrabby taking the second.
C'est déjà trop, si Gwen ne choque pas, il gagne la première map.
Allez, la première vient de passer, il le drift, il le safe, y a pas de souci. La deuxième est passée, la troisième est
parfaite. Oh là 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 là.
Le temps est très très bon également.
Et ça commence.
0-0-7.
Will Spam lock in the podium position here. What? Binks! Binks is out! And Spam overtakes Muda. Is this the map win for Spam? He does indeed win the map. 25 points locked in. And Spam wins the first lap of the season.
Allez, save.
L'identité. Oh putain. Pardon.
C'est bon.
Oui,
allez,
oui,
allez.
Oui,
et le x5 qui est joué, les amis. Le 9x4 double V.
Aïe aïe aïe, on a la réponse de cette prédiction, on arrive bientôt sur la fin de la carte, mesdames et messieurs, ça se joue entre Gwen et Afi. Afi qui reprend du terrain sur Gwen, est-ce qu'il peut récupérer cette première position? Et oui! Et oui! Et le sourire de Afi.
Yes! He did it!
Corner there, he almost crashed into it, and Brent still 0.1 ahead of Aurel and Pack. We're battling out for first place, going very wide here, carrying a lot of speed through the donut on the plastic. Not the best exit line though. Let's see what will happen here at the finish. Oh, Brent over the best line here. Pack coming closer. Overtaking him here. Pack with an inside line here. But who will get it the best? It will be Pack. He gets it. What a round, Kai. What are we just...
So there you have it. Those were your top 10 highlights from last weekend. And I want to actually take a bit of a moment to say that it was really cool to hear a couple of new people having a go at commentating the top flight. Of course, we had J-Nick, aka Jake, who was casting with me in the Challenger League for Step 2, who was deputizing for Virtual, who was still recovering at the time. And apparently, word on the street is that he actually did a great job. I did not really have the time to look back. But yeah, apparently, yeah, Jake did a pretty good job according to you guys. So good job, Jake. And also, you saw it in the last clip, Race Haunts. I only saw that particular clip from MN Gaming, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed, and I really love that it fits so well with how much excitement he brought in to the M&M cast. There you go. So big up to Race Haunts and J-Nick, some of the people that have stepped up to the plate in the casting booth this week. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk back about the steps, shall we? So, starting off with the map pack that we had last time around. So On the Edge was the very last iteration of this map, the last time we played this map in the regular season. After that, we had Pool Party, Vertigo, and Poolside, which were your 6-lappers. Poolside was the very first time that we saw that as a 6-lapper, and then we had, of course, the brand new map Launchpad for the multiplier round. Now, I've got to say, regarding Poolside, I know I had some reservations about using it as a 6-lapper, but in the end, we didn't see gaps that were that spread out. I mean, I was expecting we would see another like case of Vertigo where gaps were very much spread out. I think it was something like 30 seconds plus from first to last at the end of the 6-lapper on Vertigo last time, but it was barely like 7 to 8 seconds between first and last. So better than I expected in terms of like creating gaps. Now, of course, there were still plenty of shenanigans that happened. Not least of which during that final lap, you were able to witness. Do you want to give your point of view about that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was, of course, from spectator from Spam's point of view, and he was about to get like third-ish going into the identity, and of course we had the screaming of Binks' name. Still, I think it was a bug. I'm still not completely sure, but it did look like that. And then, of course, Spam sniping in the end. That was very nice. Yeah, I agree. Very cool to see this map in 6-lapper format. Maybe a bit biased because it was Spam's map win, so I'm excited about it. But yeah, but definitely, I think worked better than Vertigo.
Yeah, and worked better than I personally expected, at least. Now, Launchpad, we saw some pretty interesting stuff happen on that map. Well, we saw, we knew that the identity was going to cause a few problems, some of which were actually showcased, and quick point to actually correct past me. No, he was not trying to make a resurgence from the bottom worker when he hit that. He missed the CP. It would not have counted. There you go, Thomas, from the past. Make sure to actually note that down. But, yeah, otherwise, yeah, also the reactor, the skip of the reactor boost ring from Scrappy was pretty interesting to see, at least from my perspective. I thought that he was going to go for a bit of a wider line, like the regular way, and try to go through there. But in the end, he showed to actually go and gamble for that line, and yeah, it seemed to pay out just fine.
Yeah, indeed. It was a very cool line by Scrappy. And yeah, I don't think we will see that line again because it probably works better in the 2-lapper format than the 6. But still, it was cool to see.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see some of the alternative lines. And of course, during that step, we had a few players that finally broke their duck in terms of getting multipliers. That was the case for Pac, who won round 6. That was a level 3 multiplier, allowing him to move up to second in the step ranking. We're gonna be talking about that later. And that was of course the case for Kappa, and it was a bit of a mixed kind of feeling. I haven't had the chance to talk about it from him, so it's going to be just my pure point of view. One good placing in 4th, the 5th, and the second race of the step, allowing him to score around 20 points in the first 2 races. Unfortunately, the momentum did not exactly carry over to the final 2 lappers, so he entered the final lap with 24 points. But he did manage to win a level 2 multiplier, which is still better than nothing. He won round 3 Kappa on Launchpad, and for me, at least from my point of view, it is a small step in the right direction. At least that's the way for me. That's the way I see it. And with the new map, I feel like maybe we could see a bit more from Kappa.
Yeah, I hope so. He's been, well, in my opinion, from my expectations of the season, Kappa has been underperforming a little bit. But then again, my expectations are completely shattered. I think I've been wrong on basically everyone. And the leaderboard has been completely upside down. And this is honestly really cool to see, because we see so many new people shining. And yeah, like another surprise this week with Gwen suddenly stepping up, which of course we will be interviewing in a little bit. Yeah, and I just cannot not talk about it, because yeah, he's been an incredible performance suddenly. It's like he just woke up from an hibernation. It's like, you know what, no, I'm gonna start playing now, and that's what happened this step.
Yeah, so yeah, of course, we're talking about your Step 4 winner, Gwen. 68 points scored over the first 4 races, starting off with a win on the edge, followed up by a very narrow second place on pole party. Could have been a win, but Afi decided otherwise for 4,000ths of a second.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, very much that kind of margin. And then on Vertigo, a mistake midway through the race cost him some pretty big points. He finished up in P12, then was right back into the thick of it, hovering around P7 in the final lap of Poolside before mistakes by Bren and Binks, respectively, promoted him up to 5th at the line, allowing him to score a further 18 points. So yeah, 68 points at the end of it. And of course, that round 5 win where he put everything together and was just keeping on pulling away from the rest of his competitors, thus scoring an easy 340 points. Then in second place, we find Pack for, of course, the ranking of the step. Let me just bring out the ranking for the step. I'm having to do everything on the fly, but yeah, Pack 174 points scored at the end of this step, having scored I think it is 58 points, yeah, at the end of the first 4 races, winning round 6, which is a level 3 multiplier round. And then Aurel completes the podium, 156 points scored overall, 39 over the course of the first 4 races, and then win on round 7, again, with a very close drag race at the line compared to Papu from Gamers Origin. Now let's take a look at the overall rankings after step number 4. Halfway through the season, Aurel returns to the top of the standings, 20 points ahead of Afi in second position. 632 for Aurel, 612 for Afi. Massa drops down to 3rd with 590 points. Kanadi down to 4th with 471. Scrappy sits in P5 with 451 and is now the only driver to have won a multiplier round in every single step this season. This statistic brought to you, of course, by Ide Koldal. Gwen moving up to P6, moving up 8 places in the rankings thanks to his great performance. Then 7th place for Mudda, 8th for Pack with his performance, moving back up into the top 8. Then Brent, Carl Jr., Papu, Binks, Spam, Worker, Kappa, and Tween in that order complete the ranking. And you can see it's still somewhat close. We don't have that many hotspots, but I gotta say, less than 200 points cover 5th through to 12th. So yeah, there's still some big battles for those final playoff places that could very well happen.
Yeah, exactly. And now we have Aurel back at the top. One of the interviews as well. He had a good 3rd place step, so he's back at the top again. Yeah, it's just back and forth here for a lot of these players at the top. But like you said, the playoff spots is really where the battle is at. And I can't wait to see more of those players and how they will perform, because it's going to be make or break in the next couple steps.
Yeah, indeed. And you can see some of the gaps are actually still relatively close. Like 368 for Pack, 343 for Brent, and you find Carl Jr. on 320, Papu on 406. Binks not that far, relatively not far away with 284. So yeah, there's still very much could be a bunch of shifting happening in the ranking over the course of the next 4 steps. And that's, I guess it's a testament to how the format can really be, can really make a bit of a shape-shifting ranking at the end of the season, where we see some of the favorite preseason not really being able to show up, and some of the underdogs finally making a big breakthrough performance that sends them towards the top.
Yeah, exactly. And you only need one of those huge steps. Like, for example, the Mazda step is still fresh in my mind. Insane amount of points, and you just shoot up the rankings like that.
Yep.
Gwen did this week, of course. And yeah, turns out that's really good, getting a lot of points in one step. So
yeah, it's a good strat.
That's it definitely works. And a lot of these players were in the middle, or even you know, around that 10, 11, 12, 13, etc. You need one step and you're just in it again. So and there are 4 more left to go, which I really like, that there are more steps this season, because this format really needs more steps to average out the luck that quote-unquote people have. and that way you really do get the top 8 in the top 8.
Indeed, indeed. Now, we do have our first interviewee in the virtual room that we have here for the show, so I'm just going to be taking a little bit of time to prepare the interview scene for you guys so that you're able to see him. Of course, we're talking about your Step 4 winner. That is, of course, Gwen from Team Game War. The youngster from France is right there with us. It seems as though we are ready, and cue the interview scene. 3, 2, 1. There he is. There he is, Gwen, in a really dimly lit room, I gotta say. Nice a bit of mood lighting going on there. Welcome on the show. Your first appearance on the show, and first of all is, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I was to school and I came back for the interview, so yeah, I'm good. And the last step was very good for me with more than 300 points. So yeah, I'm good now.
All right, so I'm not going to be doing the round of questions. I'm pretty sure you may have seen some of the previous shows. It's going to be Sinas is going to be asking them, so I'll just let you let you do the work.
All right, welcome, Gwen. Thanks for taking some time, especially coming back from school, to do the interview. Yeah, welcome, and let's just immediately talk about it. There is a pretty clear contrast between your first 3 steps and this one, namely, especially in points. What happened between last week and this week that you drove so much better this week?
First of all, I was in vacation, so I can train more, and also the map was very good for me. It's plastic, grass, and rector boost, so for me it's very good. It's like 30 maps when you can take a lot of seconds at any point of the map. So I trained more, and the map was good for me, so I decided to try to do a very good step, and yeah.
Yeah, well, that worked out just fine. I think it seemed like you were really confident because, well, you DNF'd a 2x multiplier round. Was this, this is something that we've been talking about a little bit, where it seems like the general consensus was that in the TMGL it's extremely risky to give up a multiplier, but you have done so, and this time around it paid off. Why did you go for it?
I knew that my pace was very good compared to the other, so I decided to play the first round and see what was my pace compared to the other. And if I was first, I decided to DNF, and that's what I did. So I tried to first of all to do the 4 player. But when I saw my pace, I knew that I can do the best. So I just full risked the last round, and I succeeded.
Yeah, you got that 5x, which is of course incredible, especially with the good step that you had. Yeah, and now you're here in the middle of the season, but also in the middle of the rankings again, right? So, what is your consensus about what the rest of the season for you will be? Do you think this good step that you did last week will continue?
Now I have school, so I can't train that much, but I try to continue and see what happened. But yeah, I think I train when I can, and I try to put around 5 hours per week, and to get 100 points per week also, so to keep my position. So yeah, I think I continue to train a bit more, but not that much that last week.
All right, yeah, it's can you tell us a little bit more about how the combining of your school and Trackmania is going? Because it does seem like you are, or you need more hours in more than 24 hours every day. It seems like.
I have around 10 hours per day to school, and also I go to gym, so. It takes 2 hours per day, 3 times a week. So yeah, I think during the week I don't have that much time to train, and I want to sleep also. So
Yeah,
I think the weekend is for me the best moment to train, but it's late and I try, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, it's cool to see that even with the time crunch you're in, you can still perform on such a level that you at least keep the spot in the TMGL, right? So that seems to be going well for you. Let's zoom in a little bit about, on the, I want to talk about your line, basically, where you go really high up in the quarter pipe and then go down and you keep a bunch of speed. Is this something you came up with, and are you surprised that no one else was going for this?
I was very surprised that no one else go for this, because for me it's a line very natural. We have quarter pipes, and I don't know why people are drifting, but it's even, so I'm surprised, but I'm not very that shocked, because it's even, and I think my line with a very good line is a little bit more faster, but I'm surprised, but yeah, I don't very care about this. Yeah,
because in the end, the time you gain is something, but it's not that significant compared to the rest of the map. And I think if looking back at it, just trying to spot, it seemed like your ice seemed also really fast compared to the other players. Is there something you feel you can gain an advantage on as well?
For me, the ice was the worst part of the map, because ice is not my best block. But for me, ice, when you train it, you can be faster, very fast, and it's what I do. So I train a bit more ice compared to the rest of the map, and I was faster than the others. So yeah, for me, it was very good.
All right, and wait, oh, I lost Gwen for a second, but he's back. Sorry, a little bit of a distraction there. Lastly, I do want to ask you real quick, because you came into TMGL very young. I think one of the youngest players, and I kind of want to know, how does one get onto your level at such a young age? What did you do from like when you started Trackmania till up to TMGL to get as good as you are?
Honestly, I don't know, because as you can see, I started for the first time to play Trackmania when I was 4 years old, but I didn't continue to play until my 13 years old, I said. So yeah, between 2017 and now, I play every day, and I don't know how I grow up that fast, but yeah, it's for me, it's natural to play Trackmania. So
all right, so it has something to do with you playing every day, I'm guessing then, because I mean that might have a positive effect on your skills, right?
Yeah, I think that I don't play every day when there is not competition. Like a very large part of the year there isn't competition in Trackmania, so at some moments I don't play at all. But when there is a competition, yeah, I play every day, and it's good for me to not lose my skill.
All right, and yeah, I think I'm out now, basically, also on time. So I want to thank you once again for giving you your time for the interview, and I wish you the best of luck in the other steps. And hopefully we can see you again in this in the show.
Best of luck on Sunday, Gwen.
Thanks.
All right, so you got a bit of a sneak preview of one of the scenes that were set up. I completely forgot to say that on time. Don't worry, producer doing things here. So yeah, it was pretty interesting to hear that from Orel. Now I saw some of the chats wondering why the schedule was like that. That is very much a general schedule in most French high schools, because yeah, He's currently heading towards the final part of high school and baccalaureate, if I'm not mistaken. And usually these schedules tend to look like that. From 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. you have studies with a 2-hour break for lunch at most. So yeah, it might seem harsh, but that's the way it is. And yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how he actually tries to conjugate the school planning along with like self-help with gym and also with Trackmania. That was a pretty interesting point of view. So let me just set up the scene for our next guest, who is right there in the booth with us. Let me just make sure that everything is set properly. And
our leaderboard leader.
Oh, he's a bit low there, so I'm gonna try to prop him back up. Oh, there you go. So yeah, he's adjusting the framing for me. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. And yeah, of course, we're talking about none other than your returning championship leader, and it's none other than Aurel. Welcome back on the show after appearing on week 1. You're back here. How you doing? Seems like you're muted. Yeah,
I do not hear.
Yeah,
Aurel.
I can't hear you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a muted sign next to his camera, so I think it's on the OBS Ninja itself.
Yeah, so yeah, we're using Video Ninja, of course, as our room for conferencing and for producing here on the show. So yeah. Nope, still nothing.
Hello?
Hello? No, we still can't hear you, which is somewhat unfortunate. Well, I know it's not coming from my end.
No,
okay.
I don't hear him at least.
Okay, seems like we might need to troubleshoot, which is a bit of a shame. Try looking into your audio settings.
Maybe just a rejoin could fix it.
Yeah, maybe. No, okay, so we're just going to be waiting on him
He is rejoining.
Rejoining, okay. Yeah, so we're just going to be waiting on him, so... Technical issues, these do happen. We've had that, unfortunately, last week with Scrappy, where we were not able to get the camera. Yeah, of course, we get the... you get a little bit of a sneak preview of the scene for Mime, of course, from Team Taro. But, yeah, I have that set up in advance so that everything is properly set up.
Should be good.
There we go. Hey,
there
we got our guest. Okay, let me bring him back his camera view. And
yeah, I was about to say it's a lot better to have sound than only camera, because with only camera it's hard to interview.
Yeah, and
but,
we've got cameras.
Yeah, both is better.
So redo. Anyway, yeah, welcome back on the show, Aurel. And first of all, how you doing?
So yeah, I was saying, so thanks again. Yeah, happy to be there once again, back at the leaderboard. So yeah, doing fine. And yeah, everything is fine, so can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, you did pretty good for yourself in the previous step with 156 points, if I'm not mistaken, scored in the previous the end of the step with that juicy round 7 multiplier. But of course, I'm not going to be talking any further. I'm going to let Sinas do the talking with you.
Yeah, so Aurel, indeed, welcome back after week 1 where you were the leader. You're now the leader once again. Mainly because, like Geek just said, the 3rd place in the last step. Yeah, can you was Launchpad a good map for you that you were able to get such a good multiplier?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the map overall was kinda mixed. There was kinda everything in the map, so it's kinda what I like. Like we could have seen, like, yeah, some drift, highs, a bit of dirt. It's not really dirt, but yeah, some tricky parts, and this identity in the end is really tricky. So it's something that you really have to be good everywhere, mainly. So yeah, I was kind of happy to get that map, even if it wasn't really. I mean, there was some part that was kind of weird, also, I would say, but where you can lose so much time for kind of nothing. But yeah, I knew that the map could have been great for me, and in the end it went well, so was kind of happy to get that multiplier in the end. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and such a multiplier, of course, propels you back again in 1st. Yeah, so I think from the previous seasons of the TMGL, a lot of praise came to you because of your incredible consistency during the regular season. But now, honestly, I feel like you're more known for your two-lapper performance. Because, yeah, we mentioned already, Scrappy is the one who got a multiplier every step so far. But if I think of someone else who has done really well, your name comes up immediately. So how does that work? How is it possible to go from such a consistent, like known for being so consistent to now this?
Well, the thing is, I found it kind of normal that it goes in that way this season because the whole week I'm not training 60 lappers at all. Like I'm not playing 6 lappers during the whole week. In just like 2 hours before for the warm-up that I'm playing the whole maps again. And yeah, I'm just playing the new map and that's it. That's why I'm trying to get the pace because I know that it's something where I'm kind of in troubles, you know. It's really hard for me to get fast on a map, so I know that I have to work hard on that. And so yeah, it's really hard for me to get that pace, but we've seen that in the end you can get some great runs and yeah. But the thing is that I don't feel that consistent enough on the other maps because I'm not training them, so it's kind of normal as well. So yeah, I have to still find a great balance between training the old maps and being fast on the new one. But yeah, since I don't have the time that I want to put into it, so I just have to focus the last map and just warm up again at the old maps basically. So yeah, the pace is a little bit better, I would say, and consistency. Not really there, but yeah, it's still great.
Yeah, because of not having enough time to really do what you want to do, you end up being faster because you're focusing on one single map, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like as I said, all the maps, like the one from the 4 first map of the step, I'm not playing them at all. So yeah, just in the warm up, like you have to come back at them because you have to be confident on them also. So yeah, I'm just playing 3-4 laps and I'm just thinking in my mind like, yeah, it should be fine, so let's see how it goes in the step, like, and that's it. So yeah, I mean the new maps obviously it's the way to go. So if you want to multiply points, even if you don't have a lot of points, like for example I had less than 40 last week, but if you get like a great multiplier like X3 or X4, it's still something great and you can get the podium on a step. So yeah, it's something that you have to practice for sure the last map, because like with Simpac, for example, he was yeah really good on step, almost first in terms of points overall. But yeah, if he didn't get a multiplayer, he's not in playoff. So yeah, I just try to focus more on the last map and it pay off right now. So I will try to continue like that.
Yeah, I think it's quite astonishing that you literally are saying, oh yeah, I don't play the maps at all, except for the last map. But I mean, if it works, which clearly it is, then it works, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is the map that we have, like for example, Vertigo. It's a map where I don't have to play it because I know that I don't have to be fast, I just don't have to crash. That's the thing. So I'm really slow on it, but if I don't crash, I kinda know that I will get top 8. So yeah, I just don't have to train my pace and just to be safe on the match day, and that's it. So it's great to have some kind of map that don't really need practice to be fast and consistent, but just being consistent.
Yeah, because Vertigo, yeah, it's just it's incredibly hard to be both fast and consistent that one in the 6-lap format. Yeah, I saw a lot of people in the match itself really saving on the poles, and you were one of them. And yeah, I think that was the way to go. So good call on that one. We're now halfway through the season. As step 4 is done, you're back in first. How safe do you feel right now?
I feel good, not gonna lie. It's great to be first at the mid-season. Like for sure, it's something that you really want. That's no doubt. But if you look at behind the scoreboard, I still feel like I'm not really safe. Like if I'm not getting a multiplayer until the end, I'm not really sure if I'm in it. But yeah, obviously, if I'm doing like horrible step, I just have to basically get one good step on the next 4 and it should be fine. So I just have to play my game as I did for the previous one and it should work. So yeah, I still feel good. I don't have the pressure to come back and to get any bigger multiplier because I'm in good position right now. So yeah, I feel good. I will try to keep my training on last map and warm up before the step, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just keep going like it's going because it's working, right? So
yeah, I mean it's working, so why would I change?
Exactly. So we have time for one more question. So let's do this one. So we have indeed we're halfway there. What do you expect for the rest of the season? Who will be making it into the playoffs?
Obviously, it's really hard to tell who will make it because of the format, basically. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Brain is out of the top 8, I think, right now. Yeah, Brain is out.
Yeah, but not by much.
Yeah, but it's mostly, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Brain might get it. Maybe Carl if he got the motivation as well. Papu as well. So, I mean, it's really hard to tell who will make it and who will go down. So yeah, I mean, I still hope for a big fight until the end for everyone. I've seen that Kappa is also really motivated to make it as well, so it's really hard to tell, and for sure that the last step, it will be really exciting to see that people going for the bigger multiplayer to make it to the playoffs. So it will be exciting till the end, and I just hope that I won't be in the position where I have to play for a big one. So yeah, this will be tough for sure.
Exactly, but like you said already, the comfortable position is being number 1, and yeah, I would be happy in your position as well. So we're out of time, and thanks for your time, RL. It's going really fast, like you in this season. So I want to thank you and wish you all the best. And well, if the pattern continues, we'll probably talk to you in the last step again, right?
Yeah, let's see.
That would be step 7, not step 8. Step 7.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, good luck on Sunday, Aurel, and yeah, wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. See you.
See you. And so that concludes our small round of interviews with Gwen and Aurel, and yeah, kind of concludes our look back at step number 4 of TMGL. Now we look into the future and into, of course, the step that happens this weekend, step number 5, with, of course, the obligatory shift in the map pack we have on the edge that is now phased out in favor of a brand new map from a brand new mapper in the Trackmania Grand League mapping team. And it is, of course, none other than the Rocket who gave us this map called Bolt Holes. Take a look. So, there you have it. Bolt Holes by Rockets. One of the players that is mostly associated with, who's made a name for himself in other competitions. I remember seeing his name crop up in the Championnat de France, in the French Championship. Sorry for saying the official name, but yeah, the French Championship, the very first edition of it in 2020. He was one of the mappers for that competition, and his maps are usually are pretty high quality, and I'm really happy to see new names like that pop up in the Grand League mapping. Now, about the map itself, it is very much not the map with a crazy and crazy part at the end, although crazy difficult part somewhere through the map. Although it has to be said that the identity does require some precision and can be a bit tricky to actually get the lineup right, especially through the first jump. But other than that, it's much more of a pace-dependent map than what we had in the last few steps.
Yeah, and I think this one will be one of the maps where it's very much. There's a lot of difference between driving it in 2-lapper format versus 6, where in the 2-lappers, in the identity, there's no holding back, full send, full speed through the jumps, and yeah, sometimes that will cause some crashing, while in 6-lappers, I'm sure that there will be a little bit more releasing to safely go through the holes, and that will be a little bit different. But other than that, yeah, the map itself, I really like. So yeah, can't wait to see it in action.
Yeah, and I have to say, when you say that the 2-lappers are definitely going to be different and more full send, I can think of a player in my mind, and I think some people can actually think of a player for which that actually suits really well. I'm not gonna say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. He's in the Grand League field already. But yeah, I'm also like talking from a casual perspective. It's one of the more affordable sort of maps that we've had in the Grand League map pack. The rest have had a pretty big ramp up in difficulty. This one doesn't feel as difficult as the others. Well, the difficulty is still there, but it's a bit more subtle, a bit more refined in terms of integration. It's not like coming in one big stupid lump with just a part that you have to play like Flight Simulator or something like that. It very much feels well integrated within the map, and that's something that I really like. Now, before we actually talk through the map pack, let's actually take a look at the non-board lap around Bolt Holes by Rocket, and alongside us is going to be none other than Kappa. So a quick spiral downwards there, then onto the first checkpoint and the plastic bar. Plastic wall ride, go really high and then dive low, a little bit of a wiggle there. Then onto the penalty dirt before checkpoint number 3. Onto the left-hand side of the bubble roll, jump over to the middle, then a little bit of a loop coming over, then jump over the water onto the platform part, use it to angle the car for the drift. Then onto the jump, clearing the little hill, then onto quarter pipe transfer. Then drifting right here to get to the inside of that little hole with water. Reactor boost up the wall, really easy to lose grip there with the strength of the reactor boost, so lag thereof. Then down the inside onto the dirt, get somewhat close to the poles, and then actually smooth out your exit over the dirt to get better speed for the jump. Then grass banked corner, downhill, then little jump towards the wall ride, pretty tight wall ride this one. Then jumping onto the second grass bank, now going from bank to flat, penalty dirt around the inside, and then we come to the identity to jump through the holes. First jump right here, make sure to watch your speed and watch your angle as well. Onto the second jump, which is done pretty much full speed here. And then the third one, where you have to be careful, wary of your speed to not over jump it, and then land on the other side of the road. That takes you around a lap of Bolt Holes by Rocket. So let's take a look at the map pack for your step number 5. Pole Party will be the opening race, the final time we get to play this map in the regular season, followed by Vertigo, Poolside, Launchpad, which will see its first use as a 6-lapper. This will be pretty interesting to watch. And then, of course, Bolt Holes, your brand new map for the Grand League map pack, which will become a 6-lapper, of course, next week, and will remain a 6-lapper, and will become, to the end of the season, becoming the second race of the final step, if my calculations are correct. Now, as I say, Launchpad, I'm kind of interested to see how people are going to be finding consistent and safe lines that are also going to be reasonably quick in the 6-lapper format.
Yeah, once again, it is reimagining the whole map every week when the 2-lap map becomes the 6-lap map. And indeed, like you say, the consistent lines need to be found, and people will be going for top 8 once again instead of first. So yeah, we will see some different approaches probably, and I'm wondering if we will see some Grand Line adoption or not. That's also going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty interesting. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if there are going to be people that are going to be trying the Gwen line maybe once during the 6-lapper. But it seems as though the speed gain that you get from that does snowball for a pretty good sector of the map. It spans through the entire first sector. But then if you do one slight mistake at the drift before the ice part, you can lose all your advantage. So yeah, it could be very interesting to see how many people are going to adopt the line consistently, are going to try to pull it off as many times as they can during the 6-lappers. But yeah, Pole Party, Vertigo, Poolside, Launchpad, Bolt Holes, that's going to be, of course, your map pack for step number 5, which is, of course, happening on November 14th at 8 PM CET, live on Twitch. If you want to get an overview of everywhere that you can actually watch from, be it player casts or the global official cast held by Virtual, !main event in the chat, or trackmaniagrandleague.com/watch if you want to get the overview. Now, I am told that Virtual is actually healing really better, and he will be back in the casting booth for the official cast after having had to sit out, of course, last Sunday due to having had a sore throat and a voice that was pretty much extinct. But yeah, Virtual back in the casting booth, and if you want to follow along players such as and other casters such as Sinas, who is casting for Span, or myself casting for McLaren Shadow, then make sure, of course, to check our respective channels: twitch.tv/PamEJ for Sinas, who's casting on Span's channel, and twitch.tv/McLaren Shadow for me, casting for Kappa. But of course, these are not the only ones. There are a total of 14 different team streams in French, English, and German, respectively. So yeah, make sure to check those out. Thank you very much to Cam, the best mod in the Trackmania community, modded to all of the channels, it seems like. It very much feels like it whenever Cam is here, but yeah, exclamation mark main event in the chat. Yeah, you will get the schedule and the POV casts and, well, the global stream list for the Trackmania Grand League. Now, that covers the TMGL part of this particular show. Now we want to talk about the challengers. Now, but first, now we're gonna have to wait a little bit for Mime to join because, yeah, I mean, I did send him all the instructions. Let's hope that he did not forget. I think he should be there anytime though. But yeah, of course, we're gonna have our interviewee for today, which is of course none other than Mime, your current championship leader, the only man to pass the 1,000 points barrier scored so far in the TMGL Challenger, 1,006 points. And yeah, the only man to be a repeat winner in the Trackmania Grand League Challenger, and even on the Grand League circuit alone. Like, we haven't had any repeat winners in TMGL. Remember, we've had Aurel, we've had Afi, we've had Masa, and we've had Gwen in terms of step winners. And Mime is the only one to have more than one step win under the belt. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty interesting to hear how he thinks his season went.
Exactly, and very happy to see that Mime is able to come up for an interview, because I'm really excited to talk to him. He's just been completely dominating in the Challenger Series, and yeah, we had Oteg last week. He is the only one who can come even close. On the ranking, you can see Mime has over 1k points, but Hydra has 552, and he's third.
Yeah.
So that's almost half. That's how much of a domination this really is.
They're very much dominating. We'll talk about the rankings, of course, a little bit later. But in the meantime, I think our interviewee is right there. He's in the booth with us. Thank you very much for Mime. You can get yourself unmuted. There you go. First of all, we're going to do a test now that we had a bit of an incident for Aurel, but try talking. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. That's come up pretty nicely. But
is it loud or is it good? Because
yeah, it's good. I can actually manage the volume. But yeah, welcome to the show. First appearance here on the Weekly Show as part of the Challenger. And yeah, first of all is how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've just come home again for the long weekend we have in Poland because of the National Day. And
oh, okay, national holiday. Okay, makes sense.
Yes.
Alrighty, so as usual, I'm just gonna let Sinas do the talking and ask the questions because I'm way too bad at asking these live. So at least I have someone to fall back on, which is the great thing about the TMGL Weekly Show.
Yeah, well, good that we can double team this one. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it still says Aurel on the stream.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I completely forgot about that. It's
small note there, but that's completely fine. In the meantime, though, Mime, welcome and thanks for your time. We talked a little bit just before you joined already that how well you are playing in the Challenger Series so far. Over 1,000 points and in the lead by quite a bit. Only Oteg really close. How are you feeling so far in the season?
Well, the season has been going extremely well. I didn't really expect to do so good, considering my consistency on 6 lappers. But yeah, I'm very grateful to perform so well, especially on these maps. And I'm looking forward to score some big points in the next steps as well.
Yeah, and this pattern has been going well for you so far. Like you said already, a little bit unexpected from you, but I mean, I think a lot of fans here are happy to see you performing so well. Let's zoom in on the last step here. You had a very risky strategy, aiming for a big multiplier. I think we saw multiple DNFs, if I remember correctly, or at least you were very, very strong compared to the rest of the field on the multiplier map. How did you, what was your mindset going into that map after you saw that you were so far ahead in the first couple of rounds?
Well, my goal was to get that over 1,000 points. So, and after my poolside incident, I didn't have enough points to get over 1,000 with just 2x multiplier. And I knew I had the pace, so I just DNF'd, waited for 3x, and then tried to get it. And it worked out, so I'm very happy with that.
All right, I love to hear that it is just the goal of getting 1k points and not like, oh yeah, it's better to go for a 3x. There's just the points on the general ranking. But good to hear that it worked out for you then, because yeah, it does look really nice.
Indeed.
All right, and yeah, just mentioned it a little bit already. You and Otek are really the standout performers. We talked with Otek last week, and he was really challenging you for the #1 spot. How do you feel in the rivalry between you two guys? Are you scared, or will you be able to defend that first place?
Well, not particularly scared. I expected Otek to do very well in the Challenger League. Also, I know he's a very sick player, consistent, and I knew we will have some close battles together. And so far, I'm winning, but only by a small margin. It can change anytime, like next step, for example. But well, I will try to defend my first place. It's not gonna be easy, but we will see.
No, it's not gonna be easy indeed, but you make it look quite easy. I gotta be honest, looking at the Challenger Series. Well, then, of course, we have that ever important spot, third place spot. Do you have any predictions on which player will be third with, well, what it seems like you and Otek right now, but of course that could change as well.
I mean, I would like to see Evan being third, of course, as he's my countryman, and it would be nice to like see him performing well after dropping from TMGL, and to maybe even advance again. That would be like amazing for me.
Yeah, that's that would be a great comeback story, and especially with you and then 2 people from Poland, that would be nice, right?
Yes, but I wouldn't like to play against him in the 1v1 match if it happens.
Oh yeah, that could potentially happen, that's true.
That wouldn't be good for me.
I wanted to ask you as well about how the way you train for the Challenger Series, because that might give some inspirations for the people who are in the OGL right now. Is there any special way you are preparing for the maps that makes you perform this well?
Not really, I think. Most of my practice is what I'm doing on stream, so I don't really train much. Like this and last week, I've only played like a couple hours, which mostly was the new map, because the maps we had earlier, I've practiced like already enough when they came out. For example, On the Edge and Pole Party. These maps have been out for like 2 months almost, so like, there is no need to play them. The Vertigo is of course the map that you don't need to practice, as already said before, because it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
And Bullside and Launchpad were maps that I really enjoy, and I've learned them very quickly. And I know I'm fast on them, so I'm just trying to get consistent, pretty much. Because I know I have the pace, I just need to be more consistent.
Alright, so training for consistency mostly. Although I am hearing sort of a pattern here where the focus should be on the last map, because the preparedness on the others are there already. Is this a valid conclusion I can take?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Yeah, that's it for me. Geek, one more last question if you have it, or
well, yeah, I got one last question in regards to the maps. Of course, you have seen the brand new map that has been released, Bolt Holes by Allkit. I was wondering if you eventually started practicing. I'm pretty sure you did, but I'm just want to get confirmation. And if that's the case, how do you feel about the map so far from what you've played and what you've seen? Do you think it suits you better than some of the other maps that you have, or maybe it's a bit less of a, you might be more at a disadvantage given that it's maybe a more pace-driven map compared to some of the other ones that have introduced the 5-lappers?
Well, I haven't really played this like for too much, but I don't really have a fast time yet. I'm still trying to get like to a clean run, but for me the map is good, of course. It has some full speed parts. Short one, but it's still full speed, and it's overall very well built map. Especially the identity is interesting, I think. And well, definitely it's not the best map for me. but I'll try to like perform good as well. Like the pool site and launchpad were very well suited for me, but this map is like in the middle of it, so it will require like more time to learn it properly and become fast, but well, we'll see in the step.
All right, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you very much for stepping up and taking and allowing us to take a bit of your time to ask you a couple of questions. We wish you the very best of luck, of course, in the second half of the season of the Challenger, and yeah, we hope to see you, of course, on we hope to see you qualify yourself for the TMGLC final on December.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mime.
Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks.
And that is it, your third interview of the night. And despite a bit of a rocky start technically, I know, my brain did not compute that I did not switch the name properly, but it's all right. I mean, we learn, we live and learn here. That's totally fine by me. So yeah, of course, that's the kickoff of our Challenger coverage. We had an interview of mine. Now let's take a little bit of a look at well, a bit of a recap of the top 3 and even top 5 of Step 4, because it was the closest step in terms of scoring that we have signed so far overall in the circuit. Bar TMGL, bar TMGLC, overall, that's the closest that we have had. Energize won the step, 54 points scored over the course of the first 4 races. Then he won the 8th and final round on Launchpad, allowing him to quintuple his score to 270 points. Then we have Mime, who scored 68 points in the first 4 races, and then won round 6, which was a level 3 finalist multiplier, allowing him to triple his score and score 204 points. And then just 4 points behind him, we find Wosile from Team Game Ward, 50 points scored over the first 4 races, won round 7, which was of course the ×4 multiplier, and he scored 200 points at the end of this step. Evon in P4 had scored 65 points in the first 4 races, then won level 3. He won round 5, so that was resulted in him scoring 195 points. And then at the end, we have Otak, who scored the most points out of anyone in the first 4 races, 91 points scored, which is some good going out of the theoretical 108. But in the end, he decided to take it more safe, not go for bigger multipliers, and he won the very first round straight away and took a 2x multipliers, putting himself in P5 on 182 points. 100 points covering the top 5 at the end of his step. That's just crazy. So
yeah, and a small note on Otek there. Last week he did mention already that this last multiplier map didn't really suit him, and he would probably go for any multiplier, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah. So that strategy definitely did not change.
I mean, going for the safer approach, and yeah, I mean that's totally understandable on his part. In the meantime, let's take a look at the Challenger rankings at the halfway mark of the season. Mime, of course, 1,006 points, leading the standings ahead of Otak, 867. Hydra staying in the top 3, and then a bit of a shift. Evon, Energize, and Mosa moving on to P4, 5, and 6 respectively, whilst Cap, Mikotra, and Razi tumbled down to 7th, 8th, and 9th. Link with his good step performance, scoring 108 points in P8. Last week, he moves up to P10. Mosolja, Snow, and Dofalt move up to 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then the bottom 3 remain unchanged: Nidotica, Fegli, and Revolution. And overall, it seems as though, again, we do have quite a few hotspots here in the ranking. And those hotspots are way closer. I mean, just 200, and when you think about it, just 250 points between 3rd and 10th. And if you look even further behind that, that's give or take 300 points. That's the equivalent of one really good step. It's basically a must-have tier step, and you're back into the thick of it. So I'm expecting plenty of shifting in the overall ranking to happen over the course of the final 4 steps of the season. And yeah, it's set to be really interesting. Those final spots in the TMGLC final are going to be very, very costly.
Exactly. Mime and Otek seem kind of locked in, but other than that, it's a free-for-all, really, and anything can happen. 4 more steps, and 1 step gets you from 10 to 3. Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty exciting. So make sure to tune in, of course, on Step 5 of TMGLC on November 14th at 6 PM CET, right here on twitch.tv/Trackmania. Last time around, I had Kitty alongside me in the broadcast booth. I want to give a round of applause for Kitty again. He did very well on his very first appearance here on an official event. That was really cool to actually have him. And I guess it's time to reveal my colleague for this weekend. We're back into the Rocket League realm with another caster, but from the other side of the Atlantic. I'm going to be casting alongside Sleegy this weekend. And yeah, Sleegy is an esports commentator, a Rocket League commentator based out of Columbus, Georgia, who has been who's also a content producer, like an event producer, broadcast producer, and yeah, he's the president and CEO of Minor League Esports, a Rocket League organizing core, and they also did a Trackmania showcase event, which he casted alongside Fallen, who casted Step 3 alongside me. But other than that, he's been featured in plenty of other broadcasts on the Rocket League side. He's been involved with DreamHack back in 2019 in Atlanta. He's also been one of the commentators of the ESPN Esports Rocket League Invitational, as well as being part of the talent team of E United for RLCSX The Grid this year. So yeah, I'm very excited to work with him. Very excited to work with another American broadcaster. That's I've had that previous experience once, of course, with Twitch Rivals. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, make sure to tune in November 14th, 6 p.m. CET here on twitch.tv/Trackmania, of course, for Challenger. And before we close out with the weekly program, quick summary of the top 8 of OGL after the third step, which happened on Saturday. So your top 8 in order are Ener, Dark, Skandir, Carl, Hugo 220, Bresso, Sapi, and the Darkwig. So Ener currently still sitting at the top. Carl dropping down from 2nd to 4th. Skandir still sitting in 3rd place. Dark managing to move up to 2nd position. Hugo making his first incursion into the top 8. Then Bresso as well, having made his way into the top 8 after the 3rd step. And Sapi and the Darkwigs rounding out that top 8. If you want to take a look at the rankings for yourself, either in the game by clicking the OGL Fall 2021 competition in the Grand League Club, or if you want to take a look at the top 20, trackmaniagrandleague.com/open. You'll see the top 20 right on the landing page. And that leads us to, well, the program for this weekend. So, Step 4 of the Open Grand League is, of course, happening at 6 p.m. CET on Saturday. If you want to actually partake in it, make sure to register into the event if you haven't done so before, or simply just join the server if you already registered and join the server early enough before the start of the step. And, of course, Grand League Challenger on Sunday at 6 p.m. to start off the day with me and Sleegy on the official channel. And then, of course, the actual TMGL at 8 p.m. on all the different channels that you can get on trackmaniagrandleague.com/watch or !main event. And that is it. We're running a little bit over time, but that's totally fine. We can run a couple. We're not.
1 minute. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to riff off as many as I can just to try and compensate for that. But yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, given that I'm a bit of a motor mouth anyway, it does suit me pretty well. It's pretty much on character anyway. But yeah, it's I'm really excited again for another week of competition, and I bet you are too.
I definitely am. This is Spam's comeback week. I can tell you right now. Here's the prediction, and yeah, I can't wait for Sunday.
I feel like there could be also some pretty good stuff coming from Kappa as well. So thank you very much for coming on to the Trackmania Grand League Weekly Show. If you want to follow us, of course, at SinasAppel_TM on Twitter and at TMGeek on Twitter. And of course, make sure to tune into TMGL on either of our channels or any channel for that matter, whatever you want. And yeah, that's it from us here at the official Trackmania channel for the Weekly Show. We'll see you together next week, and I'll see you on Sunday, of course, for Challenger. Have a good night, guys.
Goodbye, and good night.